Nina said, my boyfriend has a longtime friend who has a crush on him and he keeps hanging out with her.
Exactly what I'm talking about. No.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Get out of here.
That's so wild. I mean, that's so crazy.
It's just absolutely no. Like, if you are in a relationship with someone who's going to be the partner for the rest of your life, that's your priority. I don't care. If you can't prioritize that, that's not your person.
And whenever we talk about this and whenever we talk about situations like this, we always say like, oh, it's individual and whatever. But some things are just especially non-negotiable. If you're dealing with something like that, then you're being disrespected on a consistent basis. Same thing with a guy liking other girls' pictures. Shouldn't be dealing with that. Yeah. Just don't deal with that.
Unless you don't care. Because a lot of girls are saying, oh, I don't care. Fine. But realize what he's doing.
Cam said, my boyfriend ducked a waitress. Oh, that's interesting.
He said it so confidently.
A waitress on his birthday in Texas while I was in Cali. Then he came home and told me 9 months later.
Wow. I don't understand these guys who cheat and then waste their girl's time for months just to admit it. It's like they know they can't deal with the guilt, but they like wait until the statute of limitations is up. Like, what do they think? It didn't happen this calendar year, so I can't be blamed.
I don't know where it comes from, but we've heard this before.
Yeah.
We've heard this before. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better that he told you. I guess you could look at it like that because you don't want to not know.
Yeah.
Because once someone cheats, they'll cheat again.
Yeah. That's the thing. They knew it was bad. It's not like I made a mistake. What is the mistake here? You didn't know? A mistake is when you didn't know something would hurt someone.
They absolutely knew that, like you said in that video, they knew that it would hurt you. And they went ahead and did it anyway. And that's unforgivable.
It's not forgivable. I don't understand. I've never forgiven a cheater. It's only happened to me one time. I was like 16. Zero forgiveness. Immediately hung up on him, never saw him again.
Maria said, why would my ex return to hook up if he already has a new relationship after 6 months of a breakup? This is classic.
The story as old as time.
Yeah, this is classic. As long as I feel like it always happens. Like, even it's not just with men, it's with women too. It's like as soon as they have a sense from the universe that you might be moving on, they start wanting to get you back in their life somehow.
Yeah. And they reminisce on it, and they know they can sleep with you because they did it before, because it's hard for guys to sleep with people. So you can't take it as like this big romantic gesture. Like, maybe, okay, 6 months into the relationship, yeah, now the sex life is slowing down and he's romanticizing you. So he goes back for seconds.
Yeah. It does. You asked, like,
you should
why would he do that? It's because people are very primitive. Is the answer to that question. And that's all it is. That's really all it is.
I had an ex do that to me when he was in a relationship, told me that, and I always suspected that he was like a little bit shady, even though he acted like he was the nicest guy on the planet. Those are the ones you gotta watch out for because they're liars. I always suspected it. We got together a little bit, maybe a year after our relationship ended. Then he tells me that he's like seeing this girl, but it's not serious. What do I find out? They're engaged. They got married. And that's why I'm not friends with him anymore, because I found that out. This was many years ago. And I was like, why would I be friends with you? You clearly are not a good person.
Wondrous Diamond. So this is the whole context of it. Why does my long distance ex cheat on me and is calling me now to say sorry because he feels sorry? He's still with her, but just wants to apologize to me.
Literally disgusting. This is the type of person that just has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
They literally are just going off of every single emotion they feel.
Yep. Exactly.
I want to sleep with this girl. I sleep with this girl. I feel bad. I'm going to tell you. They're just constantly looking for something else outside of them to make them feel good.
And I don't know if they think that they're being emotionally intelligent by doing that.
They don't. Not. I hope not.
I hope not. It's stupid and dumb, and it's egotistical too. Like, it's selfish. That's the word I'm looking for.
It's selfish. That's exactly what I mean by them.
That's
constantly
why he's calling you to say something. Sorry. It's because he feels bad. Not that he feels, he's sorry that you're feeling bad. He feels bad. Yasmin said, thoughts on someone bringing up their ex and talking bad about her while you guys are talking?
He's still hurt about the relationship, and potentially he was the terrible one in it, most likely.
Yeah.
And he wants to recreate the narrative in someone else's mind because in the mind of his ex, he's awful.
Yep. Yeah.
So he wants to like have someone think of him in a good light because he feels bad about how his ex feels about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
99%
of the
time.
He just
or
has
he's in love with
hurt
her.
feelings. I mean, it's just like feelings that are carrying over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think men do take a longer time to get over it.
Yes.
For sure.
I don't think any ex has ever gotten over me.
I definitely do. I think it lingers, you know, because like when women are done with someone, they're like really done with someone.
Yes and no. I mean, they're done in the sense usually that they're not going to go back to it. Like they might have like feelings of care for the person, potentially feelings of hatred. But I think it just depends on who got broken up with. But it seems like this guy is definitely just hung up on the ex, and I wouldn't go for that.
Kathy said, how do you know when it's time to leave a narcissistic relationship?
Once you realize it's a narcissistic relationship, I would say. Although sometimes, like, depending on the level of narcissism, they might be able to, like, if they recognize it in themselves.
I think you should, like, research, like, the actual things, like, much deeper into what is a narcissist. Mm-hmm. I think you should do that research. Not just like the clickbaity articles that are like, you know, top 10 signs that you got, not that, but to
like maybe on like Psychology Today or something like
exactly.
that.
Because once you start to like identify what that is and where that comes from, then you might be able to salvage the relationship by like talking to them a little bit better about it and saying like, hey, like this is what you're thinking, you know, or read this and tell me this is not exactly what happens all the time. Mm-hmm. Because if he's open to it, and he's not just completely defensive about it, then you might be able to, have him change.
Yeah, because he might not want to be that way. Like some narcissists
just don't know.
They refuse to recognize that anything is wrong with them.
Yeah. But
if you're not like a true narcissist, then you might see that and be like, wow, I have these narcissistic tendencies. Yeah. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. And there, I think it's pretty rare where you find like real true hardcore narcissist. Like I saw this interview where this guy was interviewing like a true psychopath, like a true like sociopath. He had no feelings.
Yeah.
And the way they talk is almost like they're,
mimicking
they're just not
emotions.
mentally there.
Yeah.
It's not this thing like, oh, he's this master of psychology or whatever. So, we use these terms when we throw this stuff around, but I don't, people can change. People can like shift their behaviors at least a little bit. So I guess it depends on how deep he is.
Mm-hmm. And therapy might help.
Yeah.
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Puerto Rico said, any advice on mother-in-laws? My boyfriend's mom always talks bad about me, but I'm always nice to her. You always get these questions.
I always get asked about this.
The nicest mother-in-law.
Yeah. For the most part. She would prefer I was religious for sure, but I think she's decided to be over it. I know what it's like to have, someone's mom try and push you out. Mm-hmm. And depending on your age and how long the relationship is lasting, they might eventually get to the point where they're like, okay, I give up. But what I've said in the past is, as much as you can have, the husband do what they can to mitigate the situation, like stand their ground on it, they really should be doing that as much as possible. But if not, just treat it like everyone has someone in their family that is just
off.
It's just not gonna work, and you have to just treat it like as if you're watching a movie, and it's like
and depending on the culture. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. Depending
on the culture, like it's gonna be much tougher. Like there's certain cultures, especially like even brown people. It's just like some of the in-laws are just always just gonna be nasty. Mm-hmm. You lucked out with that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
She likes me better than you.
I think so. User said, why was he obsessed with me? Then suddenly I can tell there was feelings and now ghosted me.
Okay, sometimes what that is that he has feelings for you. He liked you, but he was also involved with someone else. So then he stopped being in touch with you because he is not able to anymore because he's in a relationship. Or you started to like him and showed him that you like him, and he's the type of person that actually just wants the thrill of the chase. So then when you started showing interest, he decided he was done with it. Or he was love bombing you. Or he dropped his phone in a puddle and then didn't have your number saved and
ghosted you
ghosted you for 3 years and then hits you up on Facebook 3 years later and says, "Oh my God, I finally found you," because that happened to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think, there's a lot that goes into this, and sometimes it's, it also depends on where you are in your life as well. Because we've heard, we've seen situations where it kind of made sense for the guy to stop talking that much.
Yeah.
Depending on how you interpret certain signals too. I think as a general statement, as a general piece of advice when you're dating, never be the one that's taking it that seriously.
Yeah. Never show your cards.
Never show your cards.
Be nice, be yourself, be 100% yourself, be loving, whatever, but don't say the thing unless you are sure. It should get to the point where the two of you are so just, you can't take it anymore. You have to express your feelings for that person.
Yeah.
Until then.
But also, in addition to that, as a woman, just let the guy do it. Let the man take the lead in that. If he, and he will.
They're more likely to be the ones that get scared off because they're the ones that are scared of not being able to spread their seed at will.
Oh, wow. He kept saying, same girl. He kept saying he sees me in a dream. But in a way, I'm in his head so much that he fully ghosted. I mean, some guys are just talk a lot and don't mean anything.
Yeah, some guys just want to create an emotional reaction in a girl, so they say all that stuff. I guess it's kind of like love bombing or whatever. Or he's not ready for a relationship and he realized he liked you, so he cut you off potentially. But usually they'll just keep sleeping with you and then just be sleeping with other people.